what are the critical areas of focus? What changes and challenges do we need to tackle to shape it for today and for the future?
The world, and I think the biggest issue we face, certainly as an industry that Mainardo and I work in, but with our clients as well, is that of talent. I think finding people who are comfortable with change, who are curious, who are intensely interested in outcomes, in results, is key to being able to navigate such a complex, fragmented, difficult media environment.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the three things are what Kelly said. One is talent, one is speed, and the third one is probably fast adoption of new technology.
And how do you groom the talent, in your agencies to bring to life the ideas that clients are expecting in order to deliver those experiences?
I think that what we always try to do is attract and retain them. And I think the emphasis is on the second word, retain them, which means creating the right company, the right environment, the right philosophy, the right beliefs, the right place when people can express themselves and deliver what they want to achieve. And of course, training, which is the basis of that. If you get all those ingredients right, then people stay with you over time.
The challenge for Maxis, which is a relatively new agency on the global media agency network scene, has been to embrace a different approach to talent and bring in people from different backgrounds, different experiences, people from media owners, people from research companies, people from clients quite often, and people with creative backgrounds. And I think that's been a huge reason for our success over the last couple of years. To one other point that Mainardo made and that you talked about, how do you keep talent, how do you find great people and keep them motivated and challenged and excited about working in your company and with your clients. I think for us, finding ways to give people to immediately see the impact of their work, that they can push for change, that they can challenge, establish ways of doing things, is hugely rewarding. And I think the other thing that's been very gratifying for us is equipping people with the tools to do the types of things we're talking about in this world. So that means giving people tablets and smartphones, rather than assuming you come in at an entry level and you only start with a big box on your desk and you don't live the life that you're preaching to your clients. And I think that's been very empowering for young people, especially the brightest young people coming into our agency and our industry.
Everybody runs to the next shiny thing. So how do you teach the teams to be more strategic and not so immediate reacting to things like that?
I think it's all about to test and learn and make a science out of it. And when you've got specific programs to test new things, but to test them in a scientific way, we do this to achieve this result, then we measure, then we decide if we take it bigger, but do it early when it's relatively less expensive and less risky, because the cost of failure is much less, is a way of avoiding the shiny object. Making it very scientific, not just running behind the new sexy idea.
Right. Kelly?
I agree with that. Process is sometimes a dirty word, but I think in the case of how you go about dealing with such a challenging, fragmented, fast-moving media landscape, having an approach and some principles is really important. And I think that starts with the consumer and their relationship with the brand, whether that's Citibank or whether that's Vodafone, for example. I think it then comes down to evaluating channels in a very rigorous way in how they contribute to each stage of the customer journey, having a measurement plan for that. And then most importantly is how do you develop and deliver content, messaging in a way that's relevant and useful and engaging. And I think if you've got that rigor and that process in place, that avoids people, client and agency team collectively, from running down a blind alley behind something that's new and shiny, as you say, without a clear business case for doing that.
It's not just the relevance of where you put a branding message or where you stimulate a social conversation, but it has to do with the creative, with the seasonality, with the specific characteristics of the product, getting closer and closer to that community. Of course, try to avoid the risk of reaching a community of one, because then you've lost all the scalability. So you need to find a balance between the two. And the third one probably is what is the best way to continue the dialogue within these communities at the right moments during the day, using whatever platform is relevant for that conversation.